Hey guys, welcome to another edition of If This Car Could Talk. Since we featured Greg Pepler's 1970 Challenger RT SE this past Sunday, here's a follow-up for you guys that would like to know more about these ultra cool Mopar e-body cars. If you don't already subscribe, just click on the free subscription button. That way you never miss any of our videos. We love hanging out with car people and really appreciate your time. This is Dana, and I appreciate your comments. This is your channel, and we want to make sure to bring you content that you really like. Here we go. Since I covered the fascinating history of the Dodge Challenger on the video I recently did with Mike Wolf's 1971 RT, I'll just discuss why this special edition, or SE model, is a car you'll rarely see. The most obvious difference between the standard Challenger and Challenger RT hardtop versus the SE was that externally the rear window was smaller on the SE than its other Challenger hardtop brethren. This gave the car an upscale and classier appearance, because all came standard with the full vinyl top in black, white, or green, plus additional trim and emblems. The emblems were subtly visible on each side of the car's C-pillars, where quarter windows would normally be. On the inside, these models were all standard with leather seating surfaces on their beautifully designed bucket seats. However, if a customer would rather have a vinyl and cloth upholstery motif, a correct check on the order sheet would make sure that the assembly line workers at the Hamtramck, Michigan plant would do that. A credit was issued then for the leather substitution. The overhead console was also standard fare and featured 3 warning lamps for door ajar, fastened seat belts, and low fuel, along with the sports instrumentation cluster consisting of a speedometer, odometer, tachometer, fuel gauge, amp gauge, temperature gauge, oil pressure, and rally clock, all housed in a handsome simulated wood grain cluster. These cars had the feel of a more expensive and luxurious European sports car. The SE could only be ordered on the Challenger or Challenger RT hardtop. No convertibles would be eligible for this rare option. Standard engine for the RT package was 383 4-barrel V8 with a 3-speed manual floor-mounted transmission. 7 new high-performance colors along with 13 standard colors, plus a generous selection of various two-tone color combinations, ensured that each buyer could option the car exactly as he or she wanted when it paired with different engines, transmissions, interior colors and styles, plus a long list of options. Every car ordered had the potential of being one of one, or at least one of only a few. Nicely equipped with many comfort and convenience options including air conditioning, any muscle car enthusiast would be proud to have this car in their garage. But look closer and you may see hints of the car's previous color, known as Panther Pink. It was a color which first became available in January of 1970 and was technically not only available on the Dodge Scat Pack car line, which consisted of Challenger RT, the Charger RT, the Coronet RT, the Coronet Super B, and the Dart Swinger 340, but also available across the entire Dodge lineup that year, including pickup trucks. And if you think that this car is rare in this eye-popping color, you'd be right. According to the website www.pantherpink.com, just 52 Challengers came from the factory in this unusual color. RT hardtops were 41 of this total. The RT convertibles account for 4 more, and the RT SE had 7 cars ordered. Named in honor of the popular NBC Saturday morning cartoon called The Pink Panther, it is also seen on the Plymouth offerings in 1970 as well, but that was called Moulin Rouge. During my research, I was unable to determine the exact number of Panther Pink TA Challengers, but 2 sources I saw said about 100 were built. This number seems accurate because this color and several other with high-performance color line debuting just prior to the launch of this Trans Am Warrior. Since these cars would be promoted so as to sell the required number of cars to be eligible for Trans Am racing, painting most of them this glitzier color was certainly a way to peddle them quicker. By 1970, most of the American auto manufacturers wanted to be involved in the relatively new but very popular Trans Am series of sanctioned track events. Before any of the racers could hit the track for the 1970 season, SCCA changed the rules, requiring a production run of at least 2,500 units. When factoring in the relatively low production numbers of the Challenger RT model, then adding the rarely seen SE package, and then finally, considering the unusual hue of Panther Pink, Greg's car is a triple threat when it comes to rare and desirable American muscle, from what I think is the pinnacle year for performance cars from the classic supercar era of the 60s and early 70s. Well, I hope you learned something. I know I sure did. I always enjoy putting these stories together for all of you, my YouTube friends. If you're not a subscriber yet, go ahead and hit that button. If you are, we thank you, and thanks for your support. We love bringing you stories about really cool cars and the stories behind them with the people who love them, own them, restore them, and have a great time with them. Speaking of which, next Sunday, we're going to feature a one family-owned 1978 Ford F100 Ranger that has, seriously, nearly 600,000 miles on it. My name's Dana, and I promise you aren't going to want to miss it. See you soon, and be careful out there.